Oh no, I'm trapped in these pants. That was the first thought I had as I careened wildly around my walk-in closet. It probably sounds as ridiculous to you now as it did in my head in that moment. The situation had deteriorated rapidly. Just 5 minutes earlier, I'd been quietly thumbing through the outer reaches of my clothes rack, far from the well-traveled middle section where outfits no longer suitable for respectable humans languish for years in dust and darkness before finally being evicted into cardboard boxes or garbage bags and sentenced to spend their remaining days in the attic or garage. As a series of once sensible and now tragically laughable fashion decisions slid past me, I stopped abruptly as I suddenly found myself face to face with a 30-year-old friend. A pair of ladies' stretch denim pants I'd purchased in 1988 at the Cherry Hill Mall in southern New Jersey. Author's note, I was 20 years old, had a long and luxurious mane of thick, naturally curly chestnut hair, and as the male singer in a local hair band, as they were affectionately known, there was absolutely nothing unusual about buying my clothes in a women's clothing store. As I stared reverently at the glorious, acid-washed relic of my youth gone wild, suddenly a voice in my head that strongly resembled my own said, "You know, I bet they still fit." Like the crafty serpent tempting Adam and Eve in the garden, the voice dared me forward. "Go ahead, try them on." At 51 years old, I still consider myself in pretty good shape, so I answered back with naive optimism. Why not? I was about to get a definitive answer. Things started off promisingly enough. I bent down and grabbed the waistband, stepped into the small leg holes that easily traversed my ankles, but by the time I reached my calves, I realized I was in trouble as progress slowed substantially. Undaunted, I doubled my resolve and pressed on, which turned out to be a really terrible idea. I was soon wriggling wildly, and my breathing became noticeably labored as I tried to muscle myself all the way into what had quickly become a pair of pale blue human sausage casings. When those efforts proved futile, I began to hop violently like a stationary sack race participant, hoping the blunt force of gravity would thrust my thighs the rest of the way through the now obviously woefully undersized space provided. After 4 or 5 desperate heaves, I felt a rush of air, suddenly vacuum sealing me in, and mercifully came to rest on the ground. I stood there with my chest heaving and my forehead perspiring as if having just completed high-intensity cardio training and initially feeling pleased with myself. However, any satisfaction was only a momentary victory as I felt the elastic waistband sharply digging into my skin and my legs started to quickly lose feeling due to lack of blood flow. It was then that I came to 3 sobering realizations. 1, I was no longer 20 years old. 2, I still hadn't fully exhaled. And 3, I wasn't getting out of these pants by myself.